Hello students, welcome to the second part of the first session. Now in this part we'll be covering the places in news or the locations. Now in the first part we have done indexes and location, and now we'll be covering the places in the news, that is location. Now first the international locations that we want to discuss. First is the Chechenias. Actually I want to discuss separatist movement around the world, like in Balochistan, something is Papua New Guinea, because UPSC has once asked the question that we have discussed in the last time. So I've decided to discuss one by one separatist movement, the major separatist movement around the world. The first one is Chechnya. So you can see the location of Chechnya in here, near the Caspian Sea. This is Chechnya. So this place wants the separatism from the Russia. Okay, Russia, the Chechnya. Similarly, like the northeast wants from, or the Jammu Kashmir separatist movement from the India, or the northeast, some of the states like Nagaland. Okay, so firstly the location. So the Chechnya location near the Caspian Sea. If we go more into detail, so this is Chechnya. Okay, the location in the threefold location we have discussed. This is the location, right? After the location, I want to discuss something. For example, what this Chechnya separatism look like. So for example, the evidence have been that the Russia and the Russia, current day Russia and this Chechnya have the separatist relationship for long time. From 1785 the problem is going on. This problem became prominent in the Russian Civil War. Okay, Russian Civil War, which happened in 1917 to 1922. Remember 1922, this is the time of the Russian Revolution. After that, so basically these people, what these people will do, just like in Kashmir, so these people will rebel against the Russians, the big ones, okay, the Chechens, right? And the Russian people will suppress them, or they will keep them into themselves. So when the Russian Civil War was going on, then these people revolted against the Russians. Now after that Russian Civil War was over, and USSR overtook the Chechens, right? Again, during the Nazi period, during the World War II, the Nazi government provided them help. The Nazis helped these people, the Chechens, just like Pakistan is helping the Kashmir insurgent movement. Okay, so in World War II, the Nazi people helped those people, and after that, in the present form, if we see the struggle started after 1990, the disintegration of USSR. So obviously, Chechen wants their own independence, like we should also get our independence. However, they did not get their independence, right? So after 2010, the insurgency was more or less taken down by the Russian authorities, and so, though some of the incidences are happening, for example, suicide bombings, attacks on the different Moscow, different just like the attacks we see on Mumbai 26/11. Similarly, attacks are happening on the Russian soil as well. So these Chechens are sponsoring that, and that is the game that is going on between the Russian government and the Chechens. So this is one of the restive place in the Russia that we have discussed, right? So a brief history that I have discussed, I'll try to discuss one by one each and every time. For example, next time I'll discuss the story of Balochistan. Okay, I hope you like it. Next location we're going to discuss is Agalega Island. So Agalega Island is in Mauritius. Agalega Island is in Mauritius. So why it was in the news? India to develop. It's a old news actually. It is a 2015 news, but always due to some reasons it's always in the news. India to develop strategic assets in two Mauritius and Seychelles Island. We'll discuss both of them. So first is Agalega Island. The location of Agalega Island, it is Mauritius Island. Okay, we'll see the location in the whole Indian Ocean region as well, but this is with respect to Mauritius. Now why it's in the news? Basically because there have been some issues in Indian project. You can see disquiet has caused disquiet in the Mauritius, Indian involvement in the Agalega project. Now the opposition in the Mauritius is saying that the India is colonizing Mauritius. Just like the string of pearls of China, India is using these small countries for its own purpose. It is a neo-colonialism. And now these old countries, which themselves were colonized, are using these particular small countries for their own geopolitical games, right? So this is the contention of the opposition of the Mauritius, and this is why the unease over the Alagala is there. Okay, if you see the location of the island nearby, for example, this is Diego Garcia. We'll discuss Diego Garcia once in near time, but you can see geopolitical history of this. This is the UK overseas territory, but a US naval base. I've discussed with you the Indo-Pacific, the idea of Indo-Pacific from here to there, right? In the last current affair international relations. So this place is becoming a geopolitical game between China, India, France, USA, right? Now this is why this particular the Indian projects in the Agalega Island is important, right? This is Agalega Island. This is a Mauritius territory. Next is Assumption Island, which is Seychelles territory, right? We'll discuss these two. So Agalega is done. Now we'll discuss. So just to finalize it. So in Mauritius, India signed an MOU for the improvement in the sea and the air transportation facility in the Agalega Island, right? Okay. Next is Assumption Island. So we've already discussed the location, Seychelles, Assumption Island, right? So in Seychelles, India inked a pact to develop the infrastructure of the Assumption Island, one of the 115 islands that constitute the country. One of the 115 islands. So Seychelles is a archipelago, right? So basically, they want to develop the infrastructure, and now they have updated this particular infrastructure facility to have a naval base, right? So this is, you can see 2018 news. So 2015 to 2018, and this is really important. Assumption Island location, it is a part of the Seychelles, right? Okay. Next is Addu atoll, yeah. So this is Addu atoll. So Addu atoll is in the Maldives. You can see the location. Addu atolls in the Maldives. If you know the location of Maldives, Addu atoll is right there, right? It's really beautiful island of Maldives. Why in the news? Because India has signed a MOU for developing the Addu tourism zone. So just remember, if the question comes ADU island, so it is in the part of the Maldives, because it's highly probable that they will ask question on the islands in the Indian Ocean. They can also ask you question with respect to arranging north to south the islands. So for example, Addu Island, Assumption Island, Agalega Island, Reunion Island, like that. Okay. Now next is Duckham Port. So Duckham Port is location here, Oman. Okay. You can see it is nearby the Gwadar Port. Gwadar Port developed by the China. We'll also see in the next video or the next class about the string of pearls and different places associated with the string of pearls of Chinese said to be the Chinese strategy to contain India. Access to the Oman port to help India check China at the Gwadar. India Oman may talk on the Duckham Port Space Agency. So basically, you need to remember the Duckham Port. It is in the Oman. Okay. So just want to tell you the location. This is the geopolitical game, right? So Duckham Port here, Djibouti, Chinese presence there. So China is developing its own string of pearls around India, and India is trying to counter that by having presence in Duckham, by having presence in Agalega, like that. Okay. Next is Changi Naval Base. Again, I've taken together islands and places in the Indian Ocean that are relevant from the string of pearls perspective, right? So it is in the Singapore, and Changi is also the name of the airport in the Singapore. Okay, very good airport, big airport. I've been to that place. So Indian ship will have a logistic supports including refueling at the naval base located near the disputed South China Sea. Okay, in a strategic move that is likely to irk China, India and Singapore signed a bilateral agreement that will allow the Indian naval ships logistic supports including refueling at Changi naval base near the disputed South China Sea. That's all. We are discussing the locations, not international affairs. So location of the Changi naval base. This is the location. Now we have discussed in the last time the location. This is Strait of Malacca. Malacca is strait, right? This is Sumatra, then Java, then Bali. Remember, which is the nearest country near to Malacca Strait? The question we have done. Malaysia was not in the option. It was Singapore. Okay. So this Changi naval base, very easy. Next is Gibraltar. So Gibraltar is basically an overseas British territory, UK territory. This is Gibraltar, and this is the Strait of Gibraltar. Okay, so it is nearby. Strait is basically water zone between two big water zones. So Strait of Gibraltar is between this particular body and this particular water body, between Spain and Africa. Okay, so if you see more detail, this is the Gibraltar's location taken from Wikipedia. Okay, Gibraltar. This is Spain, Africa, Portugal. Spain currently facing a brunt of the COVID-19. Okay, so one more related thing with respect to Gibraltar, there was a Operation Gibraltar as well, if you have heard of it. So Operation Gibraltar was basically code name given to the strategy of Pakistani to infiltrate Jammu and Kashmir. So it happened in 1965 war. So just want to discuss with you that Pakistani thought that they will come in the Kashmir and they will instigate the local Kashmiris to fight against the Indian state. Getting my point? So they will infiltrate Kashmir, they will come to India and they will instigate the Indian people that you will fight against the Indian state. For example, you see, instigate the locals in starting a rebellion against the Indian rule there. Okay, so instigating the locals to starting the rebellion against the Indian rule there. Okay, so Pakistan specifically choose this name to draw a parallel between the Muslim conquest of Spain. You don't have to remember this. This conquest happened in 8th century. So they have given inspiration from this particular conquest and they said we will do the similar conquest of Pakistani's conquest in the India through Kashmir. So this is the Operation Gibraltar, 1965. Okay, they disguised as local and entered Jammu and Kashmir from Pakistan with the goal of fomenting the insurgency against the Kashmiri Muslims. However, the strategy went because of the poor coordination, and also it is said the Kashmiris also did not respond to their call. Right? So this is the Operation Gibraltar. Now we have seen the international locations. We have seen many of the ports. Many of the ports we have seen, right? Assumption Island, Agalega Island, Duckham Port. We have seen Changi Naval Base, right? We have seen in the starting the Chechenias, right? And finally, we have also seen the Gibraltar. Okay, Gibraltar. So this is all you need to remember. We have also seen Addu in the Maldives. Now we'll see locations in the India, right? Let's move. So first is Khadakwasla Dam. Khadakwasla Dam, actually we have done this particular Mula-Mutha river, a dam on the Mutha river, 21 km from the center of the Pune. So this dam is responsible for the source of water for Pune and its suburbs. Okay. So why it was in the news? It was in the news. First see location. So this is the location of the Khadakwasla Dam. Khadakwasla Dam in the city of Pune, Maharashtra. Okay. So we have done already this particular current affair, Mula-Mutha river cleaning project in Pune, Maharashtra. So it was a gift from the center, if you remember, right? I hope you are revising it. So this is Mula-Mutha river and the particular dam is located on it. Next is Lower Subansiri project, really interesting project, Lower Subansiri hydro project, run of the river project. Okay, run of the river project. What is the difference between run of the river versus the large dams? Tell me in the comment box. Okay, run of the river versus the dams. So it is the Lower Subansiri project has been given a go ahead. It is at the Arunachal Assam border, the location. So just to see why it was, you see, Lower Subansiri project. Just 1 second. Lower Subansiri project has been stuck for past 8 years due to various reasons. Mostly environmental reasons were there. So finally, it was given a go ahead of the go ahead by the approving authorities. The run of the river project, what is Subansiri? It is the tributary of Brahmaputra. So just remember, Subansiri is the tributary of the Brahmaputra. Okay, it is most suitable in the Arunachal Pradesh, mostly situated in Arunachal Pradesh. So 2000 megawatt Subansiri project falls in the territory of both Arunachal Pradesh and the Assam. See here location. So at border of the Arunachal Pradesh, but the basin also lies in the Assam. This is what we have to discuss. Lower Subansiri project. Next is Mettur Dam. So Mettur Dam is located here in the Tamil Nadu Karnataka border. Again on the river, which river is this? On the Kaveri river. It is the Tamil Nadu's largest dam on the Kaveri river, Mettur Dam. This is Krishna Rajasagar Dam. We'll discuss that. Krishna Rajasagar Dam. So, just to tell you location, it's also known as the Stanley Reservoir. Should have mentioned the name and just improve. Stanley Reservoir. Okay. Stanley Reservoir. Mettur Dam. Right. Next is Krishna Rajasagar Dam. A lake and the dam that creates it, Krishna Rajasagar. It's a gravity dam. So basically, Krishna Raj Vadiyar IV, Maharaja of Mysore, constructed the dam during the famine. Despite critical financial condition, the architect of the dam was M. Visvesvaraya, on whom Engineering Day in India is observed. Indians Engineers Day. Okay, M. Visvesvaraya was the architect of the dam. There is a one garden nearby, that is Vrindavan Garden. Vrindavan Garden, ornamental garden. It is attached to the dam, right? So this is the Krishna Rajasagar Dam here, and this is Mettur Dam, and this is Krishna Rajasagar on the same river, that is Kaveri River. Kaveri River last year too much in news because of the dispute and the Supreme Court judgment, right? Next is Kavalappara, again a place in the Kerala, Kavalappara, whatever you want to say it. So it's in the Mallapuram district. Okay, just remember we have done this location, right? Guruvayur, a temple there. Tulabhararam, if you remember, the image of the Modi ji getting weighed against the flowers. So this is Mallapuram. We have covered the new red corridor, recently covered in the LWE areas. I'll discuss this LWE districts which are added. Okay, so Mallapuram. Next is Kavalappara landslide in Western Ghats of the India. Okay, so the Western Ghats of India have experienced this particular landslide. Okay, so this is why it was in the news, because many of the people have died in this particular landslide, and it followed the flood of the previous year in Kerala, heavy floods in the Kerala. The last location that we're going to discuss today, that Divi Sima Island. So Divi Sima Island is located on the Andhra Pradesh coast. Okay, it's a small deltaic island in the Krishna district of the Indian state of Andhra Pradesh. So why very interesting news that it was an island of snakes, because so many snakes started to be in this Divi Sima district island. Sorry, okay, and so they have decided the exercise to get rid of them. However, you can see the formatted in this. The frog march snakes strike back on the marshy island. So Devi Sima on Andhra Pradesh coast is witnessing a spike in the human snake conflict. A legal export of the frog has depleted their prey base. So illegal exports of the frog. So frogs have been exported from the place, right? So now these were the prey to those snakes. Snake used to eat them. Very classical case of why human and animal conflict happens, right? So snakes used to kill them. Snake used to eat frogs, but frogs were taken out of the place. Now snakes have started attacking the human. Obviously, they will attack someone if the prey will not be there, right? So this is the location, that is Devi Sima location here. First here you see this is the Andhra Pradesh. This is Andhra Pradesh border, right? This is the location, and if you see the detailed location, it is here. That is Devi Sima. Okay. In fact, Devi Sima has a lot of temples in it. You can see so many temples there in this particular island region. Just one second. Before we end it, just want to mention the temples, so many temples here. Okay, in the Andhra Pradesh district. Right? So this is the end of our location things. So we have finished our session. So session 1 used to have so many headings. So this month we have only indexes and locations for you, right? And we have different videos uploaded on the YouTube as well. In the session 2 we'll also again use the same strategy. We'll try to upload smaller videos so as to inertia, the learning inertia should be reduced, right? So this is what we want to do, right? So this session 1 is over. See you in the next session. Thank you.